Hello everyone, this is TheStC here, back with some more Starcraft 2 action. This time it is a continuation of the impromptu best of 7 between TLO and Whitera. Spawning down the bottom left side, it is the Ukrainian Terror. It is Whitera himself, currently down 0-2 against Mr. Game of Drones, though, as Dario has been practicing quite a lot. The little one spawning down in the bottom right side. He's gotten better and better recently. Does look like Whitera going to go for some sort of forage fast expand once again, potentially, although I assumed that before, and then he built a bunch of stuff that I didn't expect. So we shall see exactly how this one plays out. Currently, the score is sitting at 2-0 in TLO's favor, so it is going to be tough for Whitera to recover here. But winning 1 or 2 games can easily put the momentum back into your favor. And this isn't really tournament play, so I don't know if they're like picking the map based on winner or loser, because it's more of a casual series. And I still love that double stalker build that Whitera did. I don't know if that's going to become popular or not, but it is pretty darn cool. Could probably use that and abuse it a little bit on ladder versus those Zerg bugs, as they do not expect units to be at their base that quickly, especially stalkers, because usually it's just a couple of zealots instead of stalkers. So pretty interesting stuff right there. Does look like Whitera got to try to deny the expansion, but the spawning pool has gone down. Pretty standard stuff here. Before this game gets underway, I want to mention 2 things. Number 1, thank you to everyone who's been upvoting the videos. Seriously, it helps me out a lot, guys. Please keep that up. And number 2, I'm hoping to see a lot of you in Texas. Austin, Texas on the 26th and 27th is going to be the Red Bull tournament with $41,000. And I just want to give a quick update in that some of the ticket sales were kind of messed up a little bit. For some people, I do believe that has been fixed. I don't run the tournament, but I was able to talk to them, hopefully get everything settled and kind of fixed there for you. So, yeah, definitely go buy tickets there. If you're anywhere near Texas or you have the means of getting to Texas in a couple of weeks, please, guys, buy those tickets, show up. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be in a big old stadium as well, which will be awesome. It's not going to be like a football stadium, but it's going to be a cool venue. I'm really excited about it. We do have the forge going down now for Whitera. Gateway is on the way. Is he going to drop his cannon? He should be. Indeed, he does. Down goes the cannon right now. The pylon going to die as well. You can see Whitera got to be transferring over his probe to that third base to see if TLO managed to sneak out a drone or not. Sometimes, no matter how close you're watching your probe, those drones just seem to slip on by. And is he going to do that? No, TLO, you sneaky devil, you. He is actually going to be going for a 1-base roach play. He may drop a hatchery here to fool his opponent into thinking there's going to be one, or he may just not fake it at all. As far as the expansion goes, he really wants to find... Okay, what are you doing, TLO? I'm so confused as what this drone's actually doing. The probe has found a sweet hiding spot right there. Could be spotted by an overlord, though. And what does Whitera have going on? Well, the 1 gateway is now completed. Cyber core going down inside the main base. He already has the cannon here, so he is relatively safe. But we do have a 5-roach rush on the way. Is he going to add on a couple more roaches here? We are about to find out. And this probe, dun-dun, dun-dun. He's going to scout up here first. This is going to tell him a little bit as to what's going on, but scouting out the natural is going to be the deal breaker. And Game of Drones here, TLO is hoping that this was not going to happen. Whitera playing it so smart that once the roaches are on the way, this probe should spot it. Oh, he's got to spot no third base down here. And then once he sees these roaches, he's going to be like, hello, I see what's going on there. It does look like TLO stops for just a second to kill that off, and Whitera all of a sudden has to throw down more cannons, as he's only going to have the 1 gateway here. He's trying to chrono boost out a sentry. Sentries do build quite quickly, especially when they are chrono boost there, as they, you know, are able to get one out here before this attack gets here completely. And it does like a TLO doing a build that Zerg players love to do. You usually throw this build into a best of X series, because you can throw your Protoss opponent off guard. Only 1 sentry is done. Another sentry is on the way. Does he decide to use the force field? And yes, he does, but the roaches can still all attack that 1 cannon there. That is going to prevent them from running inside, but no, the pylon has knock-on down. The 1 cannon remains, is shooting away. The other cannon will prevent these units from running up the ramp at least, but they could threaten that nexus as well, and this cannon got to finish as well. Not a whole lot that Whitera can do about defending this nexus until he can actually get out some legitimate units. Did he manage to keep the sentries alive? Just the one. He's trying to tickle it to death, trying to force it off the nexus for now. The roaches Gonna have none of it, though. They take so little damage there. Good control by Whitera, keeping this alive for now. The Stalker's gonna really help out with this. Gonna force the Roaches to have to engage at some point. Although, really, at this point, I don't think you need to use the Sentry there. Just kind of keep that one alive. Nothing happening in the main, but we do have a Nidus Worm on the way. This is the variation of the build that's so frustrating to deal with as Protoss. You have to make sure to actually kill off the worm itself. It's probably going to be going down right there, though, as there is an Overlord there spotting that location. Whitera deciding to Chrono Boost out the Nexus. If Whitera loses this game, this is just going to be a huge mental blow to him in this best of 7 series. Don't want to attack his own units there. It does look like he will be able to finish off these Roaches while saving the Nexus, but can he save the main base from the Nidus Worm? Where'd the Nidus Worm go down? It's going to be on the north side here. Zergling's now streaming inside of the base. Whitera all of a sudden having to do some micromanagement here in this battle. He has to use some crisis control. Queen's being brought in. They do plant down some Creep Tumors right there immediately. And it does look like Whitera go forced to engage us with his probes, but that's okay because TLO only has 21 probes. Can he actually stay ahead in the probe count? It is now 21, and now he is getting dropped lower and lower, but he does have 2 Nexus here. You have to remember that. He needs to kill off. Oh, no, drones being brought along for the ride as well. This is a straight macro, not really macro battle anymore. It's like workers versus workers. I'm not sure what you would call that. And I think TLO may actually defeat Whitera here. He's only got 2 Stalkers left. He's lost every single worker. He can afford to get out a Void right here if he mines just a little bit more gas, but at this point, TLO is still mining in the main base while Whitera is not. He's going to be losing his very few remaining drones. And does like he is going to try and get a Void Ray. There's a GG. A very, very quick game here. And so far, Whitera is just 0-3. And I want to see something here. Once this Roach attack actually arrived at the front door, I mean, really the main problem is that Whitera didn't have anything. Taking a look at the units tab, he just got his 1 Sentry out. That's not enough to hold this off. And at the same time, these 2 cannons weren't done. He needed a pylon here. So that's going to be his first mistake, is unable to have any units here in time. And the force field right here, there's no reason to throw a force field there. If anything, throw it a little bit further back so not all the Roaches can shoot. But the main problem was that all the Roaches still were shooting. And Whitera knows exactly what happened here. Look at this. TLO instinctively, instead of finishing off the cannon, runs past the cannon. You can see that Whitera tried to throw a pylon down, and if this pylon would have begun being constructed, or if the force field was used right here instead, keep in mind this is still a solid wall right here. If he did one of those 2 things, these Roaches would not have been inside the base. All of these Roaches would have died or had to retreat, and this game would have looked drastically different. Then on the way was the Nidus Worm, because he already had the Lair Tech right there. It would have been much easier to defend it because he could ignore his entrance because of the 4 cannons, but it was not meant to be. The Roaches able to slip on by, and right here is where it really starts going south for Whitera. He is forced to retreat to his main base with these probes, and he ended up losing more than he should, really. I think if he just transferred those right away up here, and then, you know, gotten out those Stalkers right away to defend that, it would have looked a lot different. But that Nidus Worm, I mean, it hits mighty, mighty fast, and did not give Whitera any time to prepare whatsoever. He didn't even have, this is the problem, is he didn't have any additional gateways at all. And that's really why you have to buy time by force fielding the ramp. But that's kind of how ZVP goes. If Zerg find a perfect timing, they can end you very quickly. But also, if Protoss moves out with a powerful timing attack that Zerg has made a wave of drones on, then it will favor the Protoss quite heavily. That's just kind of how this matchup is. I wouldn't call it as much volatile as it is important on the decision making. Where if you think about like TVT, it's more about positioning and moving very carefully. Where in ZVP, it's all about when does the Zerg drone and when does the Protoss attack. And in this case, it was when does the Zerg attack. So a great, great series so far. Unfortunately, it's currently 3-0. I do hope that it's not a 4-0 sweep here, but we are about to find out. Hope you guys enjoy it. I do love both of these players very, very much. And here's the ridiculous wonky battle here at the end. We got Queens, Zerglings, even drones getting brought off the line. That's not something you see very often. Whitera, I think, actually had it right here. And he really did. I think if he would have stopped this shenanigans, brought these probes back, because at this point he did have 15 to 21, but a lot of his opponent's drones are up here. If he would have backed up just a little bit, then he would have actually been ahead in the economy, believe it or not. These last few units could have engaged, especially since this other Stalker spawned. But he decides to sacrifice all the probes, which I don't think was the right choice. And then ends up losing the Stalkers here as well, which is definitely not the right choice. So unfortunately for Whitera, he crumbled a little bit under the pressure. The cannon on the low ground does get some damage in. But the 1 Stalker here, not going to be enough because at this point it's 6 supply to 32. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.